Challenge or focus is where we always start. And we do have the Four of Imps, which in this deck is the Four of Wands or Rods. Again, the Rider-Waite and more traditional decks. Let's see what's coming up here. Some of you may be planning a party. Maybe you're planning a Halloween party, planning an event in October. You may be planning a birthday. Some of you may be planning a wedding. I feel like many of you are hosting an event at your house, or having people come in to visit, or you're preparing the house for an event. Even if it's not taking place in October, maybe you've just got everybody coming in for the holidays at the end of the year, or for Thanksgiving or something, and you're trying to get some things done in October. And the challenge may just be to get everything done that you need to get done, or, to kind of get everything where you want, get everything planned, arrange the food, arrange the beverages, hire everyone you need to hire if you're hiring people to come in and help, like to cater and things like that. There may be some delay around something, or you may not be able to get something that you want. For some of you, maybe this is just like you're trying to get your costume for a Halloween party, and it's like it's delayed, or you're trying to find it in another place, or so you may want to get, knowing this ahead of time, you may want to get the expedited shipping if that's available, if you're just getting, trying to get your costume together, trying to get everything, because it may sell out, or they may run out of your size, or there may just be some frustrations around that. For others of you, it could be that there is, you're trying to get people to RSVP, maybe you're not hearing back. People are so terrible about that these days. It's very rude to not give an answer to an invitation that says RSVP on it. So everybody is like, oh, well, I'm going to wait till the last minute and see if something better comes along. And it's like, well, then you're not a very good friend. And maybe you are invited to something, that is, an acquaintance, or that it's not. So if you know right away that you're not going to go, just let the person know. It's the right thing to do. But Taurus, you can be feeling like, God, these people are rude. Here, I sent these out. I give them plenty of time for people to RSVP. And, you really do kind of get to know who truly likes you when you throw a shindig like this, and who really kind of, is waiting for something better to come along. So you kind of see people's true colors with the RSVP thing. But so yeah, you may be kind of like, and you don't want to ask, because then you're like, I would send out reminders, or maybe do like two different things. Maybe send out in actual like old school snail mail invitations, but maybe also do something like an e-invite on email or Facebook or something like that. So at least that way, maybe you can get as many responses as possible, because you have to plan for a certain number with the food and space and all of that stuff. So yeah, I would kind of cut it off at the head here and have two sources of RSVP, and just let people know, at least let me know on one of these formats if you're coming or not by this date. And then if the date passes, send out a reminder, or a little bit, hey, if you're coming, I still haven't heard, please let me know. Trying to plan an event. So yeah, this could be a wedding. And for those of you that it is a wedding, because this card is often associated with that, congratulations. I do think the event is going to be quite exciting. I do feel like it's going to, everybody's going to have a lot of fun. You're going to be happy with the way it turns out, no matter maybe what little bumps you run into in the planning or that. Now, some of you, if you're not planning a party, not going to a Halloween party, not getting married in October, or you don't have any big event you're planning for around the home, this could just be you trying to kind of get something back to the stability that you once had. So this could be a relationship. This could actually be a physical building. This could be a house that you're renovating. Again, because we've got Othila here, which has connections to real estate, property, a home. You could be because this is coming up as the challenge, and this is a card of stability, happiness, and joy. There could be, yeah, I'm trying to get my family back to that, or I'm trying to get my relationship back to that, or we're trying to make this house a place where we can be, happy. And, maybe there's been some kind of break because Esau is here. So it can indicate maybe there have been some bumps in the road with the relationship, or bumps in the road with our domestic or living situation. Doesn't have to be a relationship. It could be a roommate, or if you live with your family. And we have to kind of try to pull together. Could be just like trying to pull together as a family and stop the silent treatment. Because Esau's all about there's been a break, or, and no one's talking, or there's no communication. So, that's the challenge of the month here. Different for kind of breaking it down differently here. But the energy in the present, so this would be end of September moving into October, we have the Temperance card in reverse. This card has shown up a lot for a lot of different signs for October, upright and in the reverse. So yeah, this is the present energy. Maybe it's for some of you whenever you're watching this video. But again, this kind of goes back to Esau here. Just someone not wanting to compromise, or feeling like they've compromised too much for peace, or to not rock the boat. And maybe they kind of got sick of that and rocked the boat in a family situation, or, and it doesn't have to be your family that lives with you. This could be extended family, have something to do with property or an inheritance or real estate, or the past, or older relatives. Who's going to take care of them? Why am I always the one that has to, step up and do it? Or somebody may be saying that to you. Somebody feels like they're done compromising. And, in order to create harmony in any kind of situation, it kind of takes everybody, to compromise. You have to come together. You have to apologize sometimes. People don't ever want to apologize, but again, it's the right thing to do if you've done or said something wrong. And but yeah, in the reverse, Temperance can talk about impatience. It can talk about two things that just, no matter what you do, you can't make them mesh. So it can be about a relationship that no matter what you do, maybe you're too different. You can't make these two opposite viewpoints. It could be agree to disagree. We're never going to agree on this. We just have two very different viewpoints for various reasons. And, if we're going to get back to the stability, if we're going to rebuild here, or if we're going to have peace again in this relationship, or in the family, or in the home, we are going to have to, agree to disagree and move on from here, This could also be, again, yeah, just something like within the, a structure, again, within a home, a renovation, a property, two viewpoints or two ideas that are not going to work. It's like we can either do one or the other, but we can't do both. Like we can fix this, we can remodel this, but we're not going to have the money to do that. Or, we can renovate the house, or we can throw the party. It's kind of like, it's an either or situation with something to do with property, with family, with real estate, renovations, or with, a disagreement over something, or maybe a few things, but really. So this is the energy carrying in. The help that's going to be available to you. We do have Judgment. So this is talking about, for many of you, maybe this is a situation that has been resurrected from the past, or old issues. This is not the first time I've dealt with this, because Judgment can talk about things or people or issues or situations from our past coming back up for review. And coming back up for a new, it's a blessing because it gives us a new opportunity to maybe deal with something differently than we did in the past, and maybe get it right this time. And that's how it's going to be a help to you if that's the way it's coming up. Like if you're finding yourself in October in a, we always get to this point where we're disagreeing on this, or we can't, we're always butting heads on this. So how can we do this differently? Judgment is also a card of, if you're waiting for a decision from a judge or from, the legal system in some way. Sowelu is here. So, it seems like it will be a positive result for Taurus. Okay, not all of you, but most of you. I have to go with majority on these because, everybody's an individual. You have other things in your chart that may be affecting some of these energies. But I feel like for most of you, if this was like an inheritance situation, a divorce situation, the judgment that is coming down is going to be, it may not make everything right, but it's always nice to kind of have things settled and done and finally just put it behind us, and to be happy with the fact that we got the property that was left to us, or we got the money that's coming to us. That sort of result is always positive and helps us kind of move on. So, but the rune you have here is one that's very positive. It's one of extreme vitality and happiness and positivity. And it's kind of like, moving into a new phase or keeping that positive outlook on how a judgment is going to go, or which way it's going to swing. A lot of that is going to happen, like if you are waiting on a legal settlement of any kind or a decision from someone else, it doesn't have to be legalities. Like if you're waiting to hear back, like a yes or no from a job, or any sort of like yes or no, I can take on this job to fix up this house, or I can work on your home, I can have it done by the holidays. The energy that you put into that, just definitely visualize the answer that you're wanting, because it's kind of like this rune is all about whatever energy you're putting out, you're going to draw to you. So as long as you can remain positive, have faith that you're going to get what is coming to you, then that's what you're going to get. Now, judgment also talks about, you being in control. Because you could be the one, Taurus, making the judgment calls in the month of October. This is also talking about your judgment being correct about someone or a situation or something. So like you've correctly assessed someone or the situation, and you have correctly dealt with a situation. Again, it was all in your control and the choices that you were making. But yeah, this could have something to do. Some of you could be closing on a home. You could be choosing a new home, because we have the Four of Rods, which is a very home-centric and stability card, but also Othila is the rune of home and real estate. So some of you are moving in October. Or so maybe this property, you were fixing it up, but it wasn't ready to be moved into. It wasn't stable enough, or it wasn't, it had some things that had to be fixed. And you're like, God, I hope we get in there before this date, or I hope we get in there before we're throwing this party, or before everybody comes for the holidays. There's a lot of decisions to be made, but I think you're going to, if you're not hearing back, you're going to, kind of tap, ping people and be like, hey, I really need a decision on this, or I really need to know how much this is going to be, or how soon it can be fixed, or how soon this house is going to be ready, or when we can move in, so that we can have everything ready for this event we're having. Some of you, it's just, you're moving from a home that maybe had a lot of problems, had a lot of issues, you weren't happy there, into your dream home, or, you're able to get a property with more space, or maybe in better neighborhoods, better school district. But you're trying to get it done before the holidays, right? You're trying to get moved in, get everything situated before the craziness of the season begins. Now, what must be accepted? We've got 10 of ghosts. The ghosts are the cups in the Halloween deck here. So again, we're talking about a happy event, a celebration, people coming together, again, for a happy event, a reunion, a celebration, feasting, some drinking if you're into that. If you want to do that, just everybody having a good time. And I'm seeing toasts, and it is the cups card traditionally. So yeah, everybody having a really good time. So whatever in, arguments or little, and whenever you're planning an event, people's tempers just really can flare up because there seems to be like so much to do, and then you probably have work or the kids, or you gotta, take care of the day-to-day stuff on top of it, and then you're trying to plan a wedding or plan a Halloween party or get something ready for, and it can just seem very overwhelming. But in the end, don't sweat the small stuff, because the smaller details that maybe you are noticing, like, oh my God, the centerpieces aren't right, or, whatever, it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful party or get together or wedding or whatever this is that you're throwing, Taurus, or attending. I mean, for some of you, it could be you're invited to someone else's home and you're just trying to find the time between your other responsibilities and trying to figure out if you can go. But I mean, you really should, especially if you're single, because I really think it's going to be a great time. So by the end of October, no matter what disagreements or arguments or problems you've had with people responding to you or RSVPing, do your best to remain patient. It is going to be tested at times, but maybe knowing that ahead of time, you can kind of ready yourself and maybe blow through that energy a little bit easier than some of the other signs, or just deal with it in a more relaxed way. You're normally pretty relaxed anyway, Taurus. I mean, unless you have other things going on in your chart, you're normally pretty laid back about things like that. But so yeah, I think if you can just call on your natural instinct, I do think there will be some people that just try that patience, Taurus, for whatever reason in the month of October. But the end result is a wonderful get-together celebration, family coming together, celebrating, seeing each other again. There may be some delays in travel. There may be some people who can't make it because of other things, or who travel is interrupted or something comes up and they're not able to make it. But you're still going to have a fantastic event, and you're going to get a lot of compliments on your creativity, or the things that you've done to the home, or the things that you have set up, or just your taste in decor. If this is people coming in later for the holidays, whatever it is you're doing. And for some of you, it may be like, I didn't think this was going to work, or I didn't think this would look good, and that's going to turn out being the number one thing that you get the most compliments on. So whatever it is you're planning here, Taurus, it does look to be a success. And don't worry if you are waiting on a closing date. It does seem like if moving in is delayed, it still looks like it's like, man, we're not going to be able to move until the end of October. And then we've got people coming for Thanksgiving. I don't know if we're going to get it ready. You're going to see to it. But don't drive yourself crazy thinking about everything you have to do if that's how this is breaking down for you, Taurus, because you're going to get it done. It's going to be a wonderful holiday. And the main thing about that, if that's what you're planning, is that everybody comes together and just sees each other and spends time and has fun in each other's company, right? It's has really nothing to do with anything else. So just keep that in mind. The final outcome of October, we've got the King of Pumpkins in reverse. So this could be another earth sign person, either another Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo individual who is just really being stingy with money. It could be you, Taurus, not gonna lie. It could be you saying, we got to rein in the spending. So this thing that I wanted to do for the party or the house or the renovation, we're not going to be able to do it. And maybe your partner really wants to do this. So that could be where we're coming in with, we're going to have to agree to disagree. And again, it's saying leave it. We're not going to be able to do that. Some of you may be leaving a possessive relationship, or you may decide to do that by the end of October. Maybe this is the person that's just throwing the clinker in all of your plans, and it's always like, you know, they're always stingy with money, they're hiding money, they're very selfish, not just with money, but maybe with everything, or they're very possessive and jealous. It can be an unhealthy dynamic like that in a relationship or a marriage. And you're deciding at the end of the month, some of you, to just ditch this person. It's like you're going to ditch the person, or you're ditching this topic. You may be like, I don't ever want to hear, you know, that we don't have the money for this again. I don't ever want to hear that. Because we do. Or maybe this is somebody who spends a lot of money on themselves. Like if they were throwing this party, or if it was their family that was coming for the holidays, it would be totally fine. No limit on what would be spent. But, you know, the same courtesy isn't extended to you and yours. And, you know, that is a problem. That's not fair. That's not a balanced relationship. So, yeah, some of you are dealing with an imbalance when it comes to, you know, what's good for one person isn't good for the other, or what's okay for one partner is not okay for the other. And Taurus, I mean, it can be you kind of doing that, or that could be pointed out to you, or what you're accused of. Again, it'll be up to each of you to, you know, recognize, well, is that true? Again, judgment. We may sometimes with this card have to take a look at ourselves and think, well, you know, maybe that's true. And especially if it's not the first time that someone has said that to you. But for some of you, this is someone else that you, again, because Esau is a rune of separation. And, you know, at the beginning of October, some of you may be considering reconciling, or let's give this another go. Let's see if we can't make this work. And then by the end of October, you're like, no, I really feel like we're just, we're better off apart. I've done all I'm supposed to do with this person, because you have the rune of Canas in reverse. And this does not have to be a romantic partnership. Again, this is you've got the rune of family and a tarot card of family. So it could be a member of your family or a friend who's been in your life for a long time. And you just may be like, you know, I'm just tired of this negativity. I'm tired of, you know, one set of rules for this person and a different set of rules for me. I'm tired of being judged and criticized.